Good morning. Hang on. I'm trying to plug my curling iron in. Dang, I can't see. There we go. Welcome to the Train Wreck Show. Good morning. Shane has a video that's coming out Saturday. I saw some of y'all talking about it. I've posted some of the videos on Facebook already, but y'all, we're making steps in the right direction. We went from I do not want to be on camera to letting me film to going live one day to him filming himself. We're making baby steps, okay? Baby steps. Hang on. Okay. I will say this. Shane will probably never have his own channel, just to let you know, because this is what would happen. It would be a Jason Brooks situation. You know how Brooke films, but Jason edits all the videos? That would be us. Shane would film, and then I'd have to sit there and edit a video. But when I film and I make a mistake, or I know the order of the video as I'm filming, it's easier for me to put together my own video. Shane, he's got his finger in the camera. I would be editing out his finger. And I would have to put music over because he's said a cuss word or something. And I just don't have time to edit Shane's videos and mine. It just probably won't happen. So Sneed's Farmhouse will be a Judy Shane show. Okay. So just know that. Before I start my conversation on what today's train wreck show is about, are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? Okay. Our car tags are due in September. And unfortunately, I was one of those ones that waited to the last minute to go get my car tags. But I did, you know me, I don't like to leave my house. So I purchased the car tags on the internet. And when you do that, you put in your driver's license number and your last name, and then it pulls up all the cars in your name. So some cars are in my name, some cars are in mine and Shane's name, some are in, we have a gazillion cars. Okay, so anyway, I put in my information and it pulls up my car and my son's car. And so I paid the car tax for that. Then I put in Shane's information and it pulled up Shane's cars, and I paid everything. And I was like, where's the Toyota? Why isn't the Toyota pulling up? Because the Toyota's due this month too. And I'm like, oh, I just want to start crying. So I called Shane and I said, go look on the back of the tag on the Toyota and make sure it's due in September. It's due in September. And I'm like, please, for the love of Jesus, please tell me why this car tag is not pulling up. So then there was an option where you put the actual car tag number in and not your driver's license number. So you pull up the car tag in Coleman County. So I put the tag in, Please tell me why there's no record of the Toyota being registered in Coleman, Alabama. I'm like, please tell me no. I do not have time to deal with this. Please tell me no. So that's part of the train wreck show. The other part of the train wreck show is yesterday I get up and I think I have a field trip, right? So I'm preparing for a field trip and I look down and the field trip's October 1st. I thought Tuesday was October the 1st. I'm getting ready for a field trip, right? Only to realize it was September the 30th. And I was like, oh, so my field trip is Wednesday? And then I start having a panic attack because I have to be at the library Wednesday. The baby chicks are hatching at the library Wednesday. And I'm like, I have double booked myself because I thought October the 1st was on a Tuesday. So now, today, I have a field trip and baby chicks hatching at the library and kids that are so excited all on the same day. Welcome to the train wreck show. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So this is my plan. I had to pause after I had a panic attack going, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? So there's this, it's not Desiree, it's another girl. She's 16 and she rides her motorcycle over here and she's been trying to, her mom wants her, she's a homeschool and her mom is wanting her to get some volunteer hours. So 2 weeks ago, she started working at my farm. So I called her on the phone. I said, I need you. This is what I need you to do because I have to be at the library at 10 o'clock. The field trip starts at 11:30. I said, I need you at my farm at 10 o'clock in the morning. Just make sure they don't get here early. And I need you to stay here. And when they pull in the driveway, I need you to show them where the drinks are because at 11:30, they're eating lunch here. It is the Coleman Chamber kids. So they're eating lunch here. They come every year. They're eating lunch here at 11:30. And then we're touring the farm, let's just say at 12:30. So I'm like, this is my plan. You come here at 10 o'clock. I'm running to the library to hatch chicks with kids. And then I'm flying home without getting a ticket because my car tag is not good. I'm just kidding. I'm going to fly home and I'm hoping to be home by 11:30. But in case they pull in the driveway early or Johnny's Barbecue pulls up with barbecue, I need someone to be here to put it in the education center. Welcome to the train wreck show. Okay. We're moving on to our story. This is a very touching story. Yesterday, the new group home that came to my farm, they came yesterday. First of all, I don't think want me to film because not everyone has a signed release from their guardian. So you're not going to see them on very many videos or not on any videos because I can't show you what's going on for, those reasons. Well, last week when they came, there were, I think, 4 people here. It's not like, okay, so like, you know how the Margaret Jean Jones Center, they have group homes. And I don't know how many they have a lot of group homes. but they also have the center. So people can come for a day program where they live at home and they come there for like a day camp. And then they have people that actually live at the group home. So that's why I was calling it a group home and they wanted me to call it a center, because the people that come to my farm on Wednesdays, some of them do live at the group home, but majority of them come to the center for a day program. Well, this group home is a group home. It's not a day center. They all live at the group home. Okay, so keep that in mind. So last week, as I'm getting to know them, this girl, I'm going to say she's in her 20s, she began to tell me that she works at Applebee's. And I said, "Oh, that's awesome." Because, I told you there's a nonprofit here in Coleman called Flourish. And Flourish helps people with disabilities find jobs. They do job placement for them. So, anyway, Flourish found her a job at Applebee's. And she said, "I'm working at Applebee's and I'm saving all my money for the fair, because every year the Coleman County Fair, it's a big deal. It's like I think the fourth largest fair in the US. It's a big deal. Okay. Coleman has a lot of big events." So she said, "I'm working hard and I'm saving all my money because I want to go to the fair." And I said, "I'm so proud of you for working and saving your money. So this week, she came in and she was so upset. And she said, "Judy, the fair starts next week and Applebee's cut my hours back. And now I don't have money to go to the fair." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And she was so upset because Applebee's cut her hours back. And she said, "I thought they wanted me to quit my job, but they said I was a good employee, that they just wanted to cut my hours back." And two things were going on in my head. The first thing that was going on in my head is how businesses that are very busy, they have, I can empathize with them a little bit, because I see it here at my farm. Like when people come and work at my farm, and they have disabilities, I have to kind of stay beside them. So it's not like I can just say go. I have to kind of guide them. And I can see where Applebee's is a very busy restaurant and maybe she needs more one-on-one. And they're like, "This is hard for us because we're busy and we don't really have the money or the time to put into kind of, it's almost like it's two employees in one." But on her side, she wants to work and she wants to save her money to go to the fair, and now she's heartbroken. I don't know her situation. I don't know if she has a family involved in her life. I don't know, like, where her mom can give her money for the fair. I don't know. I don't know their situations. But it laid heavy on my heart. Okay? After she said that, there were two other people at my farm. One was a guy, one was a girl. And they chimed in and they said, "Yeah, Flourish is looking for us a job, and we were hoping to find a job so we could save our money to go to the fair. But unfortunately, Flourish can't help find us a job." Meaning, nobody wanted to hire anybody with a disability. My heart is going. I said, "Well, what do y'all want to do? Where do you want to work?" And the one little girl, she said, I want to clean houses and they can't find me anybody they'll let me clean their house. And I'm like, all she wants to do is clean a house and they can't find her a job. Like, and I could see the frustration in this young lady's face because she just wants to work and she wants to save her money to go to the fair. And the other guy, he said, yeah, I was wanting to find a job too, and they can't find me a job. I said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, well, when I was a little boy, me and my grandfather went to this store all the time, and I forgot the name of the store. It's here in Coleman. It's kind of like a convenience store. And his dream is to work at the convenience store that him and his grandfather used to go to. And I'm sitting here going, what the heck? What the heck? So, you know me. My brain kicks in high gear. And I'm like, I cannot let these kids, they're not kids, they're adults. I have to figure out how they can go to the fair, right? Like my brain is kicked in high gear. And I was like, thank Judy, thank Judy, thank Judy, thank Judy. I was like, oh, I got it. They were sitting on the couch. Their leader's right there. I said, hang on just a minute. Let me make a phone call. Well, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years ago, the Coleman County Fair asked Sneed's Farmhouse to come bring my animals. And y'all know I'm not one, I don't like to do that. But at the time, I can't remember how much, but it was like $3,000 or $4,000 that they were going to pay me to go there. And I was like, done. I'm going to the Coleman County Fair. That will pay for my hay for a year. So I went to the Coleman County Fair. It was horrible. The reason it wasn't horrible for me, the fair is at night. My animals go to bed at night. They go to bed at dark. Well, that year, my animals are out past their bedtime. And I realized the stress it was causing my animals to be at the county fair because it was for 2 weeks. And I went for 1 week and another farm went for 7 days, my animals were up past dark, 9 o'clock at night. I said, I will never do this to my animals ever again. I don't care if they offered me $10,000. I will never do this again. So I know the guy over the county fair. Know him very well. So needless to say, I've never gone to the fair since. My animals are not going to the fair. So I picked up the phone and I said, Randy, this is Judy from Sneed's Farmhouse. I need you. And he was like, what do you need? I said, I need you to hear me out. And he said, what? I said, I have a group home here that needs to come to the fair. And they need an all-in-one pass. They need free admission and free to ride all the rides. There's 6 of them total. I need free passes. He said, give me their names. Done. I was like, I looked at them. I said, well, y'all are going to the fair and y'all are riding all the rides unlimited. And they're jumping up and down, right? They're like so excited. And the group home lady is looking at me and she was like, how'd you do that? Oh my gosh, we get to go for free? And I'm like, yes. Well, you know me. You know me. I ain't stopping there. When we do things good. Okay? Because I thought, well, how much fun is it? I mean, yes, it's fun to go get unlimited rides, but everybody wants fair food. Everybody wants to play a game and win a stuffed animal. You know, what fun is it to not leave there with a stuffed animal? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, my brain's spinning. How do I get them a meal ticket? And how do I give them, how do I get money to play games? And I didn't say anything to them about that. They left. And my wheels are kicked in high gear. I'm like, there is a gazillion businesses in Coleman County that can help 6 people. It's not like it's 80 people. It's literally 6 people. Like some business can help these people get what they need. Somebody out there will help. I just got to figure out who it is. So they left. And I had to go buy shampoo. So when they left, I got out of the house. And where I buy my shampoo is at Ross. It's like a TJ Maxx because their shampoo is like $15.99 and it's name brand shampoo. So I don't go to like Ulta. I don't pay $50 for shampoo. I'm not doing that. So I was going to Ross. Well, next door to Ross is a mattress store. And it is a local mattress store. It's called Uncle Sam's. There's 2 people that run it, Jamie and Sam. Well, I know them. They run the Coleman Daily Facebook page. They have a huge following. They're like kind of like the local news. Everybody knows Coleman Daily. Everybody's trying to get on the Coleman Daily page. Like when someone gets engaged or there's local news, everybody's contacting Coleman Daily. Well, I know them. I can't remember how I met them, but I know them. Okay. I'm friends with Jamie's wife. She's a chicken mama. Okay. So I was like, I'm going to buy shampoo, but then my brain's spinning, right? And I look at I'm like, ooh, they can help me find somebody, right? They are my connection. They have got connections with all these people in Coleman. They will help me. So I walk in the door, and I had not been in their store. And they have just opened this new mattress store, and they sell mattresses, they sell furniture, they sell massage chairs. It is a bougie mattress store. One of the best I've ever seen. So I walk in the door and I said, Jamie, I need you. He's like, what you need, Judy? I said, listen, this is my story. And I began to explain that the little girl got her hours cut back. And these guys, I said, there's only 6 people, Jamie. And he was like, what do you need? I said, I need $20 a piece. Because, fair food is not cheap. Okay. I don't even know if they can buy food for $20. I don't know. But I'm like, I need $20 for fair food. And I need at least $15 for them to play games. I don't know how much it costs. Like back in the day, it was like 50 cents to throw a dart. I don't know how much it costs. $15 may not be enough. I don't know. But I said, I need $20 for each person for 6 people, $20 for 6 people. And I need $15 for them to play games. Can you help me find a local business that will donate to this nonprofit group home? He said, yeah, I'll do it. I said, great. He was like, when do you need it by? I said, they're going to the fair on the 13th. I've already got them all-in-one free passes. So now I just need them to be able to eat and play games. And he said, I'll figure it out. And I was like, thank you. So I go into Ross to get shampoo. I'm standing looking at all the shampoo, trying to figure out which one I want to buy. I look to the left, and there's the group home in Ross. It's like, shut the front. Almost said shut the front door. That's a bad habit. I need to quit saying that. They are in Ross. I said, oh my gosh, come here. I have y'all. This guy is searching for y'all $20 for food per person and $15 for y'all to play games. They're in Ross jumping up and down, celebrating. I said, because I thought in my head, if nobody pays for that, I'll pay for it. So I already knew it was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I was like, if no business will step up to the plate, Judy and Shane will pay for them to get food and play games. So I already knew that was the definite. Listen, you'd have thought they won the dang lottery. They're jumping up and down in Ross, clapping, screaming, hollering. I said, listen, y'all go next door with me to meet Jamie. I said, let me go pay for this shampoo before I steal it and walk out the door like I did my ice cream because I'm sidetracked. Let me go stand in line and pay for my shampoo, and then let's go meet Jamie. So I pay for my shampoo. I don't get arrested. And I get them, and we go see Jamie. I said, Jamie, let me show you how God works. They were in Ross when I went to get my shampoo. I said, this little girl right here is who got her hours cut back at Applebee's and was not going to be able to go to the fair. And she goes, hey, Mr. Jamie, thank you for finding us help. And then the other two guys were like, yeah, we were trying to find a job, but they couldn't find us a job. So we weren't. Thank you for helping us. And Jamie was like, are y'all going to, he starts talking, are y'all going to ride all the rides? And one of the little girls goes, well, I can't ride rides because I have seizures, but I can play games. And the other guy was like, I'm riding everything out there, and it was just like, I had the best day ever yesterday. I cried the whole day before because of Jack, and I cried all day yesterday because God bless these people. And I got in the car and I was like, wow, like I couldn't make this story up. You know what I'm saying? I knew. And Jamie hasn't found anyone yet to sponsor them, or he hasn't told me, but he had someone in mind. He goes, I have someone in mind that will help. And so I wrote a letter so that he could present it to whoever he's asking to pay for this. I wrote a letter explaining who I am, what I do, and why we're doing what we're doing. So I gave the letter to Jamie so that he could present it to these businesses asking for help. Okay, I didn't just stop there. I sent the letter myself to a local bank, two local banks here in Coleman that are really good about giving grants to the schools. Like you always see, the school holding at the library holding a check saying, thank you, Traditions Bank, for donating $20,000 to our playground. So I'm like, if these people can donate $20,000 to the school system, they can literally pay, I think it's 200, I don't know. Let's see how much it is to be exact. I can't do it in my head that fast because my brain's spinning. $20 times 6, which is 120 plus $225. Okay, if these banks can give $20,000 to these schools for playgrounds, they can give this nonprofit group home $225 to make their day. Right? $225. And I thought, I'm going to ask people for help, like our community, because these people live in our community. Okay. If no one will do it, I'll do it. I'll pay $225. So I sat in the car and I was like, God, you are absolutely amazing. And I sat there. I don't know, maybe I got a little big head about myself, going, good job, Judy. Good job for listening to their needs and going to battle for them. Like, good job. I don't know. I toot my own horn or whatever. And I'm driving, I do my best thinking when I'm driving down the road. If I ever want to come up with a project or something, I need to get in the car and drive for like 3 hours. And then I got the whole thing figured out. Okay. And I was sitting there tooting my own horn in the car. I was like, good job. Good job, Judy. Okay. And I thought, why can't I do that for myself? Because like when it comes to like people with autism, people with disabilities, people in need, I can listen. I can like I can do it. Like it's like I am so good when I believe in something. I can sell it. Like, for example, I told you I used to work for Verizon Wireless. I believed in Verizon Wireless. That was a company that like, I didn't just work there. I believed in, I knew we had the best coverage. I knew our data speeds were faster and I could go in there and sell it like wildfire because I believed in what I was doing. Okay. I could sell it to anybody. It's the same with the group home. I'm like, when I believe in somebody, I can say, hey, these people need help. But when it comes to myself, like why I'm a nonprofit farm. Okay. I am a 501c nonprofit farm. Why can't I go around to businesses here in Coleman and ask for help myself? Why do I feel like I have to go to the libraries, go to schools, do tours, take care of Larry? Like, why do I feel like I have to pay for everything myself and like kill myself to make ends meet so that I can give back to my community? So I can donate all my eggs, be here for free for kids with autism. Why don't I go stomp the grounds in Coleman and ask for help myself? I was like, why can't I do that for myself? Now, I will say that recently I did a fundraiser for queso, right? I did a fundraiser. The entire time I was doing the fundraiser, I was scared to death. Scared to death. I was on the phone with this lady that is she is she has worked for a nonprofit a nonprofit organization her whole life, and she's now retired. Me and her talk on the phone. She gives me directions because she was like, you're doing it all wrong. And I'm like, I know, but you don't understand. And she's like, what do I not understand? I said, when you're on social media, I think people think you're making a killing. And if I ask for donations for myself, like people understand, hey, I'm doing this Christmas party for the group home. And I need $25 gift cards for them so they can give their group home moms. They will be so happy to be able to give. I want to teach them that giving is just as good as receiving. People understand that. I've already received 16 $25 gift cards from you backup dancers because I can say these people with disabilities need our help. And y'all go to battle. Y'all are like, whatever they need, I will do it because y'all have grown to love them just like me. Y'all know Buddy by name. Y'all know Buddy is up there singing with the broom, right? Greg, y'all know them because I have introduced you to them. And when I say they need this, y'all are like, done. I'm going right now and I'm ordering the $25 gift card to send to you. Y'all go to battle. But when it comes to myself, I told the lady, I was like, I don't know if I can do this fundraiser for queso because, like, I feel scared. What are you scared of, Judy? And I said, I'm scared to make people mad, or I'm scared that people that can't afford to give, they feel guilty or they feel sad that they don't have the money to help. And I just don't feel comfortable asking for donations. Why? Because I'm a content creator and people think I make a killing. Or they see me going to libraries and they all think I'm making a killing and I'm just trying to figure out how to pay for my farm. And I said, I'm scared of judgment. She got me out of my comfort zone to have the fundraiser for queso, but I was not comfortable the whole entire time. As a matter of fact, when I went live, I started going to the gift shop going, okay, if you donate, I'll give you a bag. If you donate, I will give you this stuffed animal because I felt guilty because I was like, I can't ask people to donate to my farm and not give them something back. And she was like, you're going backwards, Judy's. You just paid $25 for that stuffed animal. You paid $8 to ship it, and they paid $25, and you just went backwards. I'm like, I don't know how to do it. And I thought, I'm the worst nonprofit farm ever. I don't know how to do it. I can help other people. But then after I was sitting there thinking that, I got home. I know this is disgusting. This is disgusting. But I was actually sitting on the toilet peeing, and it's like God spoke to me. He spoke to me on the toilet, okay? And it was like, you don't need to, Judy. You don't need to ask for money. Because I blessed you yesterday with a vet bill. I bless you every month with donations without you even asking. I provide for you every month. Your farm has been open since 2019. Have you done without? Judy, go out to your farm and look around. And then go to other people's farms and tell me what their farms look like. Judy, I provided you last year with an education center that you did not have to finance. I provided you with a hay barn, and I provided you a year's worth of hay for your animals. I have a tear running down my eye and I'm not even crying. I provide for you every single month. You're a nonprofit farm that doesn't have to ask for donations because they come without you even asking because they see. And I was like, here I am thinking that I'm not very good at asking for donations, and they're all around me. And in that moment, when I started thinking about all the blessings that have happened to me since 2019 when my farm started, you know, when when I got my first chicken, do you think that I thought, oh, I'll have a petting zoo? No. Do you think, Judy, that I told you guys before my eyes jump around when I read? I'm not a good reader. I'm very intimidated to read out loud. I'm at the library reading to children. Do you think in the years that I was in school, I thought, hey, when I get older, I think I'll go into the libraries and read to the children? For someone that has never experienced, let's just say, autism, I don't even really know what autism is until I got my farm. And here I am, an advocate for them. Do you think in a million years that I would ever do that? No, I had me in the middle of New York in a sequin outfit dancing on Broadway. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And when people come to my farm, especially people that have animals, okay, not my followers, when people come to buy chicken or a peacock or whatever, they walk to my gate and this is what they do. Wow. They can't stop. They can't stop looking because my chicken coops are not what chicken coops look like. My chicken coops look like a castle, a barn, a jail, a church. My peacock enclosure is like incredible. The and when they walk into the education center for the first time, people go, they do that. And then you know what they say? You're a rich girl and you're gone too far because you know it doesn't matter anyway. You can rely on your old man's money. You can rely on your old man's money. You're a rich girl and you're gone too far because you know it doesn't matter anyway. That's what they do. I'm a rich girl and I rely on my old man's money, which this song is in my summer reading program for next year when they learn about how it got started. That people started saying I was a rich girl and I was relying on my old man's money. Okay. That's what people do to me. And when people do that, this is what happens. You can sit it out or you can dance when you're in any situation, when you cast a judgment or an assumption. The assumption is I have a rich man and I rely on my old man's money. The blessing that they missed is God is all in my farm. I don't rely on my old man's money. When you watch my lives and you begin to cast a judgment like, she's so lucky. Man, she is so lucky to have Shane. Shane can do anything. I wished I had a husband like that. You're missing your blessing. Because if you really knew the behind the scenes story, you might say, wow, I wouldn't want to be there for nothing. What you're seeing is not this perfect marriage. You're not seeing this rich girl that relies on her old man's money. You're seeing the face of God. When you look at me and you're like, wow, Judy is like the daggum Energizer bunny. She is wide open Willie. She is like everywhere. She is incredible. You're missing your blessings because I'm a train wreck, to believe it or not. I live in a house that if you saw the behind the scenes story, one day maybe I should show you behind the scenes of Sneed's farmhouse. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, day before yesterday, Shane knew that Jack's eye was infected. And he knew that I was going to have to go to the vet to get Jack an antibiotic. What neither one of us knew, especially me, while I was sitting there filming happy go lucky going to the vet, I had no clue what was ahead of me. I thought I was going to take Jack to the vet. I was going to get an antibiotic and everything was going to be great. Never in a million years did it cross my mind as I was sitting there filming the first part of that video what was fixing to happen to me. Did I ever think in a second that I would have to put Jack down? No. I was happy-go-lucky Judy going to the vet to get my antibiotic, right? Only to find out that Jack was fixing to have emergency surgery and I may lose him. And I called Shane to tell him. I said, Shane, what time is it? Okay. I said, Shane, oh, there it goes. I said, Jack's having surgery. Do you know what the first thing he said to me? The first thing that he said to me was, Judy. 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 He said my name like 3 times. This is a goose, Judy. How much money have you spent on this goose? Do you know what Judy did? I was livid. I wanted to scratch his eyeballs out because in my head, okay, in my head, if it had cost $1,000 to get Jack fixed, guess what? I'm paying $1,000 for Jack to have surgery. That's how my brain works, right? I don't give 2 craps that he's a goose. He's my goose. And I have this man over here going, Judy, 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 how much is this costing? Hang on. If I could have come through that phone, I'd have scratched his eyeballs out. I tried to just let it bypass me. And I said, I don't know how much it's going to cost. I didn't ask. So Jackson's surgery, and you have no idea how much this is fixing to cost. No, I don't. And I don't care. I got off the phone with him and I'm bawling, right? It's enough to like be crying because your goose could possibly die. But he's like, so he's having surgery and he could die. Yes. And you don't know how much this is going to cost. No, sure don't. So I did not proceed to be mad at Shane on the telephone because the last thing I want to do is fight with him when I have all this stress going on, right? So I proceed to go home, and then Jill's sitting at the gate waiting on Jack, and I'm like, oh, I cannot handle this. And then a couple of hours later, my phone rings and it's Shane. Have you heard from the vet? I said, no, not yet. Judy, listen to me and listen to me clearly. How much is this going to cost? And I'm like, I'm about to freaking lose my crap. I'm about to lose it on him. Then I go to the vet. I go up to the window. They've gone to get Jack. And I said, can I go ahead and pay before I get Jack? And the lady goes, there's no charge. I went, no charge? My goose just had surgery and there's no charge. And my vet came around the corner and he goes, there's no charge, Judy. I'm bawling in the middle of the vet, right? And when my vet kissed Jack and said, go make a difference, buddy, and rubbed him on the head, I bawled even harder. And then I got in the car and I called Shane and I said, he goes, how much did it cost? I said, nothing. Well, I mean, he's thinking I'm lying to him, right? Tell me how much it cost, Judy. I said, nothing. And I got off to my side and I was sitting there thinking, okay, why don't I feel support? Like, why isn't Shane trusting my decision? Like when it came to Dee Dee cost $800, okay? It was $800 when she hurt herself. Why didn't he go, how much is this? He's loading Dee Dee up, right? He's like, load. If these dogs are Shane's pride and joy, okay? Let's just say that Rolly slipped a disc and she has to have hip surgery and it costs $5,000. I'm here to tell you right now, Shane Sneed would pay $5,000 for her to have a hip replacement, okay? He would. But when it comes to a goose, it seems silly to him to spend money on a bird. And I thought in my head, why do I feel like when it comes to Sneed's farmhouse and financially, I feel like I'm all alone? Why do I not feel like, hey, Judy, we'll figure this out? Go get Jack fixed. We'll figure it out. You and I, between the two of us, we'll figure it out. Go get him fixed. Why don't I have that support? Why do I feel all alone? And a lot of times when it comes to Sneed's farmhouse and the finance, look, it is very expensive to run Sneed's farmhouse. And for Shane, this is what he's constantly saying to me. You need to get rid of some animals. Judy, you need to get rid of some chickens. Judy, you're going upside down. Judy, and you know what? I have to, it's like I listen to what he says, and I will tell you, I would probably be really good set financially if I didn't have this farm, because every dime I have goes into this farm. And for the outside person that sees my financial records and sees all the work that I do, they're like, at the end of the year, you have no money. Judy, financially, you are bankrupt. And I'm over here going, you don't see what I see. I'm sorry. This is not a profitable farm. This is my hobby. This does not pay our bills. This keeps me sane, and this gives blessings to other people. I don't care how much it is. At the end of the day, you know what I've learned in the past, I'd say year and a half? This is what I've learned through having Larry. You can save all the money you want. You can be a millionaire. And guess what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because you're going to die and the state is going to get all your money. So why not enjoy your life while you can? Now, I'm not saying go backwards financially. I'm not saying, that you shouldn't have a nest egg and you shouldn't be prepared or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a retirement. But at the end of the day, if you get sick, my mother went from having money to nothing. Why? Because my mother got sick and it all went away. Larry, this is what would happen with Larry right now. You know that Larry can't go in a nursing home because my brother will not sign paperwork, right? To sell Larry's property. So Larry cannot go into a nursing home. I had a meeting with the nursing home. If Larry declines and he has to have 24-hour care. He still can't go into a nursing home. The only way he can go into a nursing home is if Shane and I give Medicaid $45,000, which is Larry's portion of the property. So we have to give the government $45,000 for Larry to be taken care of. Being a millionaire, having tons of money in the bank, at the end of the day, it might make you feel good in the moment, but when everything's said and done, guess what? You're going to the nursing home just like the person that has nothing. I'm here to tell you right now, the government will take every dime you have at the end of the day. So this is my motto after experiencing all this. I'm going to enjoy life when I can. I'm going to dance. If Jack calls me in the moment, and y'all heard me say this in the video, and I told the vet this. I said, Dr. Lee, this is my pet. Jack is here to make a difference in someone's life. And I shared with him, I said, just 2 weeks ago, I went to a preschool with Jack. Why? Because there's a little boy at the preschool that is blind. And I went to the preschool to teach these children not to make a difference in someone that's blind. And they began to learn not to make fun of Jack, but to encourage him to be strong and to go over there and be his friend and not be scared of him. Jack's here to make a difference in somebody's life, including my own. I don't care how much it costs. Fix him. And nobody around me in the moment, the person that stands beside me the most, Shane Sneed, my love of my life, is looking at me going, how much is this going to cost us? Judy, this is a bird. Judy, what are you doing? I felt in my heart when I became a farm owner, my job as their mother, their human mother, is to take care of them. To the average person, if you saw what I did every single day with Chirps, Chirps is my disabled duck that can't hardly walk. Every single day, I pick her up. I take her outside. I pick her up. I take her for a swim. I take her out of the pool. I put her by the food and the water. Every day, all day long, and I've done it for 4 years. And I don't have any regrets. What I might do may seem crazy to the average person. And why does Shane say that? Shane sees me bust and hump. Shane sees it takes everything I do to make ends meet. And it seems so confusing to the average person because they're like, you're killing yourself. But I see something totally different than what other people see. And I'm going to tell you what I think. This may seem like I'm tooting my own horn, and I don't mean to toot my own horn. But God is all in my farm. God gives me the strength to keep going. God provides for my farm every single month without me asking for a dime. I don't have to go around to the local businesses. I mean, yeah, it would be nice if someone gave me a big old fat check for $30,000 for a playground. Oh my gosh. If I could have an awesome playground here at Sneed's Farmhouse while they're, in downtime eating lunch and the other ones have finished their lunch and they have this gorgeous playground to play on, I would be blessed if some company goes, hey, Judy, here's you a $30,000 grant. Go buy that playground that you want for the kids. I would be ecstatic. But you know what? I feel in my heart, it's so much more than that. It's so much more. God is so powerful in my farm. And again, I appreciate you saying, Judy, thank you for what you do for the group home. Judy, I appreciate you bragging on me. I do. I appreciate the kind words that you say. I appreciate it. But I'm here to tell you, it is not me. If you think it's all me, you're missing your blessing. When you watched my video with Jack going to the vet and you're like, oh, Judy, you treat your animals so good. And I do. You're correct. I do. Yes, I would pay $1,000 to fix Jack. Yes, I would. But what I need you to see is not the goodness in Judy. I need you to see the strength that I have in me is not this great strength that I have. The strength that is in me is what you see is God's work. I'm no different from anybody else. If you met me in person, you would see that I'm a train wreck. Okay? You would. You would see that I'm booking field trips and thinking I have a field trip on a certain day, and you would see that I'm like a crazy train. Okay, the goodness you see in me is the same goodness that you can have in you. And I know it feels confusing. I don't normally really push my religion on anybody because I allow people to be themselves. But for me and myself, it's the personal relationship that I have with God. It's knowing that my strength is not from myself. My strength that I pull is from God giving me a good health, and God giving me the energy, and God placing people right in front of me. When you heard my story about going to the fair, oh, Judy, oh my gosh, good job. No, 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 no. God put these people in front of me for a reason. The connections that I have in my community, making one quick phone call going, hey, I need 6 free passes. That is not something that I did. That's God all over it. The group home being in the store where I was buying shampoo, that wasn't by accident. God wants those, in my opinion, God put them right there so Jamie could see them in person and see what he was running after to help. It wasn't a made up story. He actually got to see these people in person talking. And I believe that there is a company that's going to bless this group home with a wonderful trip to the fair. And it's not something great and wonderful that I did. Yes, I was God's servant, and I listened. I listened to my intuition, which to me is the Holy Spirit talking to me, going, Judy, help them. Pick up the phone. Go fight for this group home. Yes, I listened to my intuitions going, call. Go find them help. Quit worrying about your farm and go find these people help. Yes, I was diligent and I'm disciplined. Because I know when I feel something in my heart, I know where it's coming from, because I have a personal relationship with God enough to know that that intuition I need to listen to. I hope this story, I hope that you got your blessings that you needed from this story. Because at the end of the day, I am a train wreck. Come, if you don't believe me, come follow me for 1 week and watch what I do. Watch me try to do Larry, this farm, go places, deal with hospice, be a wife. And just if you sat and watched what happened to me and how sometimes I feel like everything is against me. Shane, how much is this going to cost? Larry up in the kitchen with no oxygen on, gasping for breath while I'm at the library. No, I'm in the vet's office having surgery, and I see him on camera going, why is he in the kitchen with no oxygen and no walker? Dear Jesus, he's going to fall. If you sat with me for 1 week and watched what happens behind the scenes, you would go, Judy, how the heck do you do this? And I would look at you and go, the strength of God. So today is Wednesday, and you have a choice. You can sit it out, which means you can think that your blessings come from your hard work. Or you can toot yourself on the back like I was in the car when I thought, oh, good job. You went and got them passes to the fair, and you can give yourself credit. Or you can know who your creator is, know where your blessings come from, and rely on him. He gives you tools in your pocket to pull out so that you can learn to dance, each and every day as obstacles hit you. It's your choice. I will see you, I don't know when. Pray that I get through this day at the library because maybe chicks are hatching. And the librarian, if you're a chicken person, the librarian opened the incubator yesterday during lockdown. And I'm thinking, why did you do that? So I pray to God these chicks hatch and they're not shrink wrapped or anything else. And then I get to the field trip and everything goes smooth. After the field trip, I've got to go to the courthouse to go, do I have a car that's in my name? I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.